that's red. She's got the spices, smile so bright. Cooking with Judith right by my side. By my side. Chop, chop, sizzle, frying pan heat. From pancakes to a fancy feast. Cooking with Judith, fun to say the least.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. And today, for a change, I wanted to do a dish that my mom absolutely detested. So it would be Dad that was cooking it for us. And we usually got it for breakfast on the weekend, if it was made at all. It's basically eggs poached in tomatoes. And my mom really didn't like it because when she was a Navy cook, she had to make this all the time. At least she claims that's why she didn't like it. But she wouldn't even be in the same room with it. She couldn't look at it. My dad liked it. I think all of his kids liked it. At least, I know some of us did. I did. But I'm going to change it up a bit. Because it was made at the time, and back in World War II when Mom was a Navy cook, with just canned tomatoes and eggs. Eggs and tomatoes go really well together, but yeah, not a lot of excitement there. So I'm going to make a North African version. And this may be where the Navy got it from. But this version contains a few other items to add some flavor. So we've got, of course, eggs, tomatoes, some olive oil, onion, garlic, some cumin, just a little bit, and baby spinach. So basically, got to chop up some onions and garlic. The tomatoes don't take a lot of work, just basically cut them in half if they're big. And these aren't terribly big, but yeah, I'm going to cut them maybe in quarters even. Not sure how big a big tomato is. I mean, if it's a beef eater, that's a big tomato. I don't know if you call them beef eaters or beef steaks. Beef steak tomato? I think I've heard both terms. Let's get started. So the name of this dish is Shakshuka. And I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but that is the way it's spelled. Now, we want to add some olive oil to our hot pan. And we're just having it on a low medium to start with the vegetables. So I have a cup of yellow onion diced. And we're going to cook those until they're golden. So that is going to take about 8 minutes. And then we will return. Once your onions are nice and golden, you want to stir in the garlic. I have 1 clove of garlic, minced. Cumin. Oops. And just to taste, basically. I put about a half a teaspoon for this amount. And you could make a larger portion of the sauce and keep the extra in the fridge. Stir that all in. I know my arm's getting in the way here and there. And we want a pinch of salt, maybe a couple. And pepper to taste. For me, that was quite a bit of pepper, but it's all good. Stir, let it cook for about a minute, just to get the flavors all melted together. Now, traditionally, this dish is done on the stove top up until you put the eggs in. Then you put it in a hot oven. I'm not going to heat my oven up. The eggs can poach on the stove top. It won't be that much different. Okay, now we're going to put in our tomatoes. And I'm going to put the lid on. And we're going to let that cook until the tomatoes are lovely and soft. Okay. I did turn the tomatoes over. I'm going to check them. No, they could do with some more cooking yet. Now, as I said, I'm trying to basically jazz up the dish that my dad would cook for us on weekends. So this is not a traditional shakshuka. There are more ingredients in that, like bell pepper, harissa paste, paprika, that I'm not using. I basically just wanted to do eggs poached in tomatoes with a bit more flavor. So now we're going to cook this for a while longer to make sure the tomatoes are really good and mushy. So, if you're using fresh tomatoes, no I am, you may want to remove the skins. Once you have your tomato well squished down, skins tend to be a little chewy. There we go. You can make your sauce ahead, and as I said, if you want to make a large batch of sauce, then you can put it in the fridge and keep it for several days. And just before you put your eggs in, now I know it's not quite hot enough for the eggs yet, you want to put in most of your chopped spinach. Save a little bit to decorate the top. And just let the spinach wilt down. So now we're going to turn the heat up, get it simmering, so we can put the eggs in. Okay, once you have it up to a nice simmer, we're going to put the eggs in. A good idea is to crack your egg into a bowl first, and then plunk it in. That prevents getting eggshell in. Now we're going to poach the egg. Lid on, lid off, your choice. I'm going to leave the lid off for this. So our final little touch, once our eggs are poached, is sprinkle some of the finely chopped spinach over top and serve. You can serve, if you've done it individually, in small pans, just in the pan. You don't need to replate. So to serve, you do want a nice flatbread. Unfortunately, I don't have access to North African flatbreads, although a paratha bread is very close, but it's not the type of bread that would be served with this. What I have is a Greek pita, which is closer to what would be served. So let's dig in. Oh, I love the yolk. A nice runny yolk and the tomato. And my childhood memories are very sharp tomato taste. This is a little different, as it does have cumin in it, which changes the flavor significantly. But adds a depth of flavor that I probably wouldn't have appreciated as a child. So there's nothing seriously fancy. As I said, it's not a proper shakshuka. It is my attempt to elevate the poached eggs and tomatoes that I had as a child. And I'm betting it's still a dish my mom would not want to look at. I'm not sure why, but she had a serious revulsion to eggs and tomatoes. Maybe she just saw it too often and in too much volume when she was a Navy cook. And believe me, I do know from experience that seeing something in huge volume, even if you do like it, can become overpowering, overwhelming, and you never want to see it again. Ask me about cherry jello. That's another video. Maybe. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the recipe. And please do check out the proper recipe for shakshuka. It's delicious. This is seriously simplified. And I will see you again really soon with a new video.